And as soon as we finish our session, the boat catches on fire. Next thing you know, the entire street is completely taken up by fire trucks.
This is Mobile Groove. This is possible. This is where it's at, and this is where we are excited to be. But Matt, we're excited to have you, especially because you had an episode. You might not have made it today to our interview.
Thank you for having me, first of all. Yes, I had a harrowing adventure yesterday, recording content similar to this, right across the street at one of the yachts.
Yeah.
And as soon as we finish our session, the boat catches on fire. We were asked at that moment to leave the boat immediately. Next thing you know, the entire street outside the Fountain Blair, the Eden Rock, is completely taken up by fire trucks.
I saw that.
And so we made it out safely, though. Everyone was safe, but there was a party going on the roof. So picture there's 50 people all trying to get off this boat. We're in the basement. Anyways, we made it out okay.
I mean, there's part of me, like the pun patrol will come for me, but I was going to say it was probably some hot topics
you were
discussing.
No.
I didn't say that. I'm sorry.
I've been blamed because I had a hot take right before the fire started, and some allege the take may have been too hot.
There you go. There you go. We're talking about that intersection between games and brands and the realization that it's more than transaction. But you, of course, you have a platform for commerce, for this intersection, for this transaction, but also intent. Let me understand a little bit about what Fluent has become since the last time we chatted.
Yeah,
because you've been around for a while.
Yes, we
have. You must have been very patient.
Not only very patient, but all the twists and turns you can imagine, having run a company for over 16 years. So you're right, we were founded in 2010, and over that period of time, we have built a number of incredible solutions, but most recently, we have developed a commerce media solution set, and we help a number of partners across retail, grocery, travel, financial services embrace this new commerce and retail media wave. So you've got this big opportunity. It's now approaching $100 billion category every year, where all the mega retailers are becoming ad businesses.
Yes.
And why not? Margins are getting compressed due to tariffs and shipping and handling and everything else. And they
have audiences.
Yep, but exactly. They have first-party data, they have very rich audiences, incredible targeting and measurement, and they have a lot of eyeballs. Consumers are on these websites, and I think there was a point where it started with Amazon, then Walmart, and then shortly after, everyone's in the fray, from Uber to Instacart to everybody else. And what I think they recognized was, I've got millions, if not billions, of users on my websites and my apps. Why should Google and Meta get all the ad dollars?
Yes.
We've created this new opportunity outside of the walled gardens for brands to participate in highly performant new media channels. And so we're embracing that. We've developed technology that allows those commerce media partners to plug in demand from strategic verticals at the point of checkout, within loyalty, and frankly, any surface area that helps to enrich the shopping journey.
It's overhearing a couple interviews here. I mean, it's me, the journalist, right? And there are a lot of interviews going on in the press center. And I was listening to some people, they were talking about commerce media. They probably were in it. But I heard one thought, and it was like, I wonder how many of us the market can sustain. And I thought, wow, now that's a thought.
Yes.
That's a thought. So I'll take it that next step. So this is a commerce media company. I don't know which one, but that was the concern. I thought, yes, that's true. Because we can have the long tail, but will we have the performance and the inventory and the interaction to sustain it? How many do you think?
Well, right now, I believe the last estimate, there's 250 retail and commerce media players.
Yes.
Right? So it's growing.
Yeah.
And to your point, if you're an advertiser, you cannot justify placing 250 plus direct buys.
No.
And so you're obviously going to place buys with the big ones. Walmart and Target and Kroger and some of the large scaled players.
Yeah.
PayPal perhaps, right?
Yeah.
But you're certainly not going to be, so I think you need that aggregation layer.
Okay.
right? So you're going to find, and this is where I think players like Criteo come in, is they represent hundreds and hundreds of these kind of opportunities, and that's also the opportunity for Fluent, right? So if you think about the essentially the network we've created, our technology is utilized by thousands of commerce moments, and so all of a sudden, if you're an advertiser, we can give you access to reach, scale. We were focused on building technology and tools that would help publishers to better engage and monetize their audiences. And we wanted to build solutions that drove better performance for advertisers.
Right.
And while we've gone through a lot of different machinations, we can still deliver on that mission, deliver on that promise. We love travel, grocery, and frankly, any of these partners that are looking for new ways to enrich their shopping experience, our technology can support that. So I think the fact that we've developed a cross-vertical agnostic network is maybe a byproduct.
Yeah,
that just kind of
maybe
came
it's
out.
a plus now, because I was talking to the founder of Sweatcoin. He's like, hey, this is an amazing fitness app, but we've got brands that want to come in here. It makes sense. I mean, why wouldn't you want to talk to people who are enthusiastic about sports and interested in loyalty and earning and thinking about this as, a business? So
Exactly.
that's the other point. And I think that's going to come around again, because now intent really matters.
Yes.
Because the experience matters, and the audience matters, and the money matters. Nobody wants to waste the money. So you have high intent in that activity, whether it's commerce, whether it's travel. The audience is there, but they're looking for something. They're interested in something. How does that change the model, or what does that bring?
One of the things that's held true about Fluent since our early days is we're a performance marketing company. And we have built a business with this concept of driving results and driving outcomes for our partners, whether on the supply or the demand side. And I'm always astonished at how incredible platforms like Google and Meta have become. Right, it's highly sophisticated. They can make or break a marketer's business. But I think what we've also found, and it's created some frustration and also opportunities for others, there is also a point of diminishing returns on those platforms. You can only spend so much of your marketing dollars on any one platform before you put $1 into the platform and you only get 75 cents back. At which point, diversification becomes critical.
Yes.
And we need to make sure that we can deliver incredible performance at scale and do so for a variety of different ad verticals, which is why we love the mobile gaming category and introducing that into this commerce media ecosystem for a number of reasons. Number one, some of the most sophisticated performance marketers are in the mobile gaming ecosystem.
Indeed.
Highly analytical.
It was born there,
Yes,
absolutely.
Born out of the performance marketing ecosystem. There's $12 to $15 billion a year of digital ad spend that comes out of the mobile gaming vertical at large. I believe is more than both auto manufacturers and the travel industry spend on digital. So you've got a category that's larger than some of these extremely scaled out categories, which is compelling.
I think of it, and I'm calling it more of actually, it's a media, it's not just an audience. It is like a space. It's going to be one of those mass medias that we talk about, because everything happens there. It is in development. I'm talking to more brands that are more excited about it. Maybe they're just challenged. I think they've gotten their head around the fact that we're all gamers. So I think they're over that one, that we're all sort of like, a gamer is an 18-year-old who doesn't wash his hair in the basement living with his parents, right? We've gotten past that stereotype, I think.
Can I share one stat I just heard?
Okay,
172 million Americans, so over 50% of the U.S. population plays games regularly.
There you go.
And the fastest growing segment is, guess what? 55 plus.
55 plus.
So in other words, this gamer stereotype is going away. Because everyone's a gamer, apparently.
And it's also because it's intertwined so much with loyalty. I mean, I'm talking to people in my family. It's like they're in to play to earn, and other things, and not just earn, but like you get points. It's just the airlines all over again, just more fun.
Yes.
What's it looking like with what you're doing? Because you're working with these brands. You're seeing the gamification, the rewards, the loyalty, all of that come together through the interaction.
One of the inventory types that we support is post-transaction. So directly after a consumer completes a purchase or a hotel booking or whatever the experience is, we will introduce some sort of relevant personalized offer, leveraging our machine learning and our own AI models to figure out what's going to be most relevant to this consumer. And that could be anything from, try this new free streaming service, you're going to love it, to, you just completed a purchase at Home Depot and you're seeing an offer for Ford F-150, right? Something that's relevant that may not be sold at that store, but it's still enriching to the overall shopping experience. And so our first kind of pass here was, well, what are some other ad categories that are underrepresented within commerce media that we can introduce? And given that we've got a deep bench and deep experience in the gaming space, that made intuitive sense to experiment there.
Yeah.
And as we dug deeper, what we started to recognize was there was such a, being that all these shoppers are also gamers, it was a very relevant overlap.
Yeah.
And so what we started was, how do we introduce this new game category to these shopping experiences? And kind of a relevant example might be, you're on NBA.com, you're buying a jersey, and then we serve up NBA 2K. Yeah. It is extremely relevant to that experience. Yeah. Incredibly value add to that purchase potentially. And if you think about the opportunity, this is a consumer that not only buys stuff online, they're more likely to be a paid user. They're going to make those in-app purchases, and as a result, you'll see much higher ARPUs, much stronger retention and progression. And so let's just lean into those types of signals.
Yeah. And I saw something about that. The value there was, because it stuck out. I was like, whoa, is that real? It was 5.1x retention for day 90 because they came in through a game. They came in through this way of interacting with both the product and the playtime, right?
What's interesting is the commerce channel broadly, we're seeing LTVs and progression metrics that are 4 to 5x stronger than traditional UA channels. And as a result, what we're seeing is, I think oftentimes within the gaming category, there was an emphasis on efficiency when it comes to the CPI.
Yeah.
And what we're finding is now that we're seeing such stronger metrics in other channels, it's like the CPI is not really relevant anymore. It's just a benchmark.
Been for a while.
Yeah, well said.
Seriously.
Right? So I think what we're finding is this user, you might want to pay $50 for this install because they're worth $100 plus. And I think so that's what's really compelling is all of a sudden it's no longer a race to the bottom. How do you introduce new types of inventory where you can source high value players? And that's what we're trying to bring to the market.
I'm hearing that all the time. It's like literally you get what you pay for. And now the race is on to like identify, I don't know if you do this, but this is where the excitement is. It's like high value is good, but like medium upper value is also very exciting because high is like high to high. It's like 90 to 95, right? But if you can get someone like, that's 75 and get them over to the 90, that's a win. So it's like find that middle, not even the high value, just like the mid to high value.
Right.
What are you doing to enable that type of targeting? Because I want to bring people over and I also want to make money on it. So I've got high intent, but maybe I want high returns, not necessarily only high value to start. How does that look?
The way our platform operates especially within the mobile game category where we're getting really rich signals back on quality and performance, we're able to dynamically route audience segments into the appropriate pricing tier. So in other words, if there's a profile that we think generally speaking is going to be lower retention, lower ARPU, lower progression, we'll route that into a lower price tier.
Okay.
And conversely, if there's the head of household that's in that 35 to 45 range, generally speaking, is your best profile for most casual games.
Yes.
And that's also the predominant shopper on a lot of these commerce environments. And so that is an example where we'll see this profile come through, route them into a higher tier bid in order, because we know there's a high likelihood they're going to convert. Stronger performance, stronger ARPU, stronger progression, all the key metrics, right? So that's how our platform will dynamically identify a user, and then using some of our predictive analytics, what are they most likely to be worth on a long tail, not just by D7, not just by D30, but rather like on a 365 range, because that's where our partners are thinking about, right?
Yeah, they want longer term.
They need the tail, right? And there's examples of some platforms I think are optimizing for a day 7 or a day 30 metric, but the reality is most game developers we work with, they need to see retention well beyond day 90. And that's what we've got to really optimize is a long tail.
I'm talking to a lot more managers who are like, yeah, that's very interesting, but I want to know out to like 90, 120. I'm thinking out there because that's where you're going to start to see the value, and you want to understand that. You don't want to go for the short term anymore. We're past that, Matt. That's it.
Well past.
We are past that. The industry is past that. We're excited about this. I've been excited about it since day one, and I've been in connection with you, talking about it from early on. What are some exciting case studies? Because everything starts with a story. If we can start seeing stories of brands really taking advantage of this, and they are, but we're not hearing enough about it. We're hearing more about one-time activations rather than someone going all in. Adidas is maybe an exception to that, obviously. There are some, Peloton. But what about you? What about who's working with you at Fluent and what you're seeing?
Yeah. Well, I think one of the best case studies we could have gotten as an industry, as I'm thinking about kind of commerce and gaming, you're seeing it move into the mainstream. So before I give any specific examples, I'd say when you saw a company like Fetch, one of the largest rewarded apps in the country, take out a Super Bowl ad last year and promote their gaming for rewards mechanism. That was a tell that we've gone mainstream.
Yeah.
And then you look a couple years prior, Netflix has an entire mobile games ribbon within their app, because what's a better experience? So I think what you're finding is all the major platforms, a lot of major brands are kind of embracing it more holistically.
I'm also seeing games on LinkedIn. Am I losing my mind?
Yes.
Or
you're also seeing it on USA Today, AARP.
Because I was looking, I was like, I missed that one. I might have, maybe there was news about it, but I was just like, oh, makes sense. We spend our time in there. Why not?
If you go to USA Today today, you'll see them. They'll hit you most likely with a big full-page interstitial overlay that says, play USA Today games.
See, they got it.
Exactly.
Because that interaction, that is gold.
Well, I can't share specifics. We hope to be releasing a couple really exciting case studies where both retail and game developers are coming together, leveraging the Fluent technology in between to deliver industry-leading results. So I'm excited to share more.
Coming soon?
Fingers crossed within, at some point in Q2.
I think that when we bring the stories out, people are going to say, yes, this makes sense, because I see it as where the audiences are. It's just that clear to me.
Exactly.
And if you're not there, you're just missing out on an opportunity, and who can afford to do that these days?
Right.
So it was a great opportunity to connect with you. What do you want the audience to take from this conversation, or even from possibly?
I'd say a couple things. One, I'm incredibly excited by just the speed of innovation that is surrounding us at a show like this. And there's not one CEO in America that is not calling on their teams to drive more growth this year. And as we've learned time and time again, necessity is the mother of all invention. And so we're going to see a proliferation of new media channels, right? Commerce media is a great example.
Yes.
We're going to see a lot of innovation coming from the marketer side on experimentation and addressing these case studies more broadly. But I'm just excited for this convergence that we're seeing right now, where commerce media is embracing not just their endemic advertisers, the ones they sell in store, but now this rise of strategic verticals where they might not sell this product, but they know it's value added to their shoppers. So we're excited to lean into that trend, continue to deliver results. There was this term historically called non-endemic, but I heard this recently from a partner who said, you don't want to walk into a meeting and say, you're a great fit for my non-endemic audiences or my non-endemic vertical. I'm starting a conversation with
a negative.
Yeah, with a negative.
Yeah.
It's no good.
Okay.
So this embracing of strategic verticals. So there's this concept within commerce media that strategic verticals, or formerly known as non-endemic or near endemic, is the next phase of growth.
So it's like we're entities and apps become sort of islands and make connections. I wouldn't say marketplaces, but it just sort of like makes sense in that flow.
Yeah, and
right?
it creates new opportunities for marketers to get
Okay.
exposure to high value new shoppers, consumers, and so we're really excited to kind of lean into that and support the ecosystem and drive innovation and growth for both our commerce partners as well as our advertisers. And increasingly that's becoming these large mobile game companies.
See, that's good news, because then that question that I heard, which was how many commerce media companies can we actually sustain? Well, if the mix is different and if they are working together differently and partnering differently, then yes, they can be sustained. Matt,
All right,
it was a pleasure.
Thanks, Peggy. Appreciate it.